Hey Theo, we're about to break down your frontside 720 to see where you can improve. So your main issue with a 720 is you're getting lost in the air and you're not being on a constant stable axis of rotation. There's a couple reasons this is happening and we're going to go and break them down and also give you a structure of how to go and fix these problems because they're very fixable and very approachable. Because the good news is your landing is pretty good. You're going and looking in relatively the right spot. Right here, you're tracking the knuckle, putting your head down. You're looking up a little bit too soon. Notice how right here, your head is looking down here instead of back up towards the knuckle or behind your foot. You're looking a bit out in front of you, and that's what's causing you to droop over and get that little bit of too much heel pressure, and that's where your hands are coming down. So what you want to be doing here is making sure that your spot is a little taller in the back and a little more straight behind your tail, because if your spot starts going in front of your toes, it's going to go and make it so your upper body goes and crumples, and it's going to be really hard to kill the rotation, kill the spin. So that's just something you can improve in landing. But other than that, that landing and the last bit of rotation is really good. So let's focus on the start of a rotation. First, with your takeoff. First, I want you to notice how your takeoff, you're really going and leaning backwards over your edge. You want to have less edge pressure and be more centered. If we go and zoom into mine here, you can see that I still have my weight set straight over top of my snowboard. I'm not going and leaning back. And it's this leaning back angle that's really going and, oh, sorry, giving you some issues. Because as soon as you go and start leaning back off the takeoff, it's going to make it so you cork. And that's what we're seeing here is a little bit of off axis on the takeoff that's going and really holding you back. Let me just play this full speed so I can go and scoop it better. So see how right here you're rotating and your board is pointed up towards the sky? What you want to be doing is coming in so you're flat and actually pulling down. So you're a bit on the wrong axis here, and that's why you need to fight to get it around. The main reason this is happening is because when you're snapping your spin, you're going and overextending your body, having yourself go up and around your shoulder. And when you're doing this, you're opening your chest and dropping your front shoulder. So we can't see too well because we don't have the angle, but I want you to pay attention to my shoulders here. I'm throwing on a completely flat plane, keeping it stacked over top of my board, and that's why when I rotate, I'm matching the angle of the jump and coming to a landing. But when you go and are throwing your spin right now, you're going and angling yourself. Sorry, one sec, I accidentally swiped her, learning a new editing platform. All right. So you're doing two things. First of all, you're really angling your shoulders downward. And this next thing you're doing is you're throwing back over your heel edge. And it's these two things that are causing you to get on this weird cork. So what you want to be doing is having that straight stack takeoff and then throwing on a parallel line. And that's going to give you clean power. That's going to go and match you with a jump and keep you on a constant axis of rotation. The next thing that you can go and improve on is your spot. So you're not going and spotting nearly as soon as you could be, and that's mostly because of your axis rotation. So see how here you're looking down at the spot where I'm pulling down into my spot. So you're lifted looking up and over for a spot versus being down, and that's going to make it so right here you have to lose the spot to whip your head back around to the knuckle, because your axis of rotation is too corked in order to keep that constant spot. Where if you track my eyes, I'm keeping my eyes down at the same point the full duration of the spin. And that is the constant spot, and that's how you can see where you are on the frontside 720s, is by keeping that constant axis of rotation throughout the full spin, and that's going to let you go and keep your eyes locked down. So if we just go and highlight, I am spotting here at 270, spot straight to the knuckle, you go and continue the rotation. I'm at 360, eyes are still at the same point of the knuckle. 450, eyes are tracking the same point. And then 720, eyes are finishing looking up over here, back at the point. So we're trying to keep our spot on that point the whole duration of the spin, and the only way we can do that is by keeping flat. So your spot was as good as it could be with your axis rotation, but I guess I'll go and just make this clear with demonstrations quick. So here, we're going to go and break down your spots. You're coming in, spotting first right here at 360. Here's your first spot. Then you lose the spot completely for this short period of time, and then spot again here. Ooh, I'm right here. When you spot again here, and then you track it pretty good from that stage, but you're doing what's called a double spot, where you're spotting one time, then whipping your head around another time. So outside of a takeoff, a way you can improve these front sevens is first getting a grab in there. A grab's really nice on a front seven because it keeps everything clean. I'd recommend the melon grab because that melon grab will help you drop your front shoulder towards the grab and let you continue a constant axis rotation. And it's going to help you lead with that back arm because your back arm is dragging behind a little bit right here. The main reason it's dragging behind is because you're throwing and you're overextending yourself, so you need a duration of time to catch up. Where see, when I pop, I'm going and I pop up and my legs naturally come to my hand. Don't need to do all that winding and twisting to get back center. So the melon grab is the grab I'd recommend for you. That said, you're not going to be really able to do that grab consistently until you get your rotation more upright and on a flatter axis. Because if you go and try to grab when you're going, oh, sorry, that's a bad diagram. When you're going and corking, it's going to make it so that would make you more committed to the flip, and you'd end up doing sort of like a half whippy flip kind of situation where you'd really get committed into the cork. Because right now you're not able to grab because you need to use your body to go and rebalance your axis, letting you come into your feet. So as a little recap, go keep your takeoff flatter and stronger so you're not going and getting corked with it and not letting your shoulders dip down. Keeping this upright posture and throwing on a flat plane or rotation is what's going to let you get more power and spot the knuckle. From there, don't go and snap as hard. You don't want to be going and reaching outside of your range of motion. As soon as you go and snap past what you're able to snap for, it's going to make you disconnected, making it so you need time to catch up. I can't see your takeoff, but most people have this problem because they approach the takeoff with their chest too open forward. If your chest is opened before you're going and doing your snap, it's going to make it so when you snap, you don't have much range of motion, meaning you need to overextend yourself. So maybe delay your wind up and snap a little bit, and that'll help you stay tighter and more stacked. And from there, just go and keep at it. I also went and checked out your Instagram bit and checked out some of your other riding. If you want, you can send me a clip of your frontside 360s, 5s, straight airs, and we can go and talk about some of the fundamental principles that could help you get better at these tricks. Because a frontside 720 is a trick that you can get better at specifically, but you right now, you don't need to be working on these certain skills on the frontside 20. You can be working on these on front 3s, front 5s, and the smaller trick you can go and work on your skills on, the better it's going to be because the more consistently you can do it, the more reps you'll get, and the safer it will be. So I wouldn't recommend going and working on this flatter axis and everything on the front 7. It just makes it way more gnarly. Do it on the 360s, get really comfortable. Do it on the 5s, get super comfortable. And once you can go and hit these principles we talked about in this video on the 3s and 5s, you're going to find that the frontside 7 is an absolute joke and so easy. But if you go and try rush to a 7 and focus on building your fundamentals when doing the 720s, it's going to be a really hard battle because it's a lot more things going on. Best to go and dial in what you can on the smaller tricks and then move on to the bigger tricks. So let me know if you need any more feedback or any more help.